Merhaba.
Merhaba, nasılsınız? You are citing me one report, I don't know who they are, what report they've written, but you're accusing an entire country of something terrible.
I know that extraditions
No, you have a different agenda here. No, you have a different agenda.
I have not actually.
No,
but I know that in the NATO discussions...
You are making baseless accusations, saying that Turkey has become a hub for cocaine traffic, mafia leaders. That is PKK speaking, that is FETÖ speaking. That is not honest journalism. We have heard these claims many, many times. Don't think that we will be intimidated by that kind of stuff. This is not honest journalism. You're making baseless accusations, taking them as facts, on the basis of which you're asking me questions, and you want me to answer them. These are ridiculous questions. Anyway, I don't want to continue this. Can you stop this?
Merhaba.
Merhaba. But if you are implying that Turkey somehow provides haven for these people, protects them here, that's completely baseless, completely outrageous to make such a claim. If that's your implication, your insinuation, I completely reject it. As I completely reject your accusation or insinuation that Turkey has become a hub for cocaine traffic or drug dealers, etc. There is no fact for that. Where is that? You are citing me one report, I don't know who they are, what report they've written, but you're accusing an entire country of something terrible. Turkey has not become a safe haven for gangsters or criminals. We give a very, very severe fight against any kind of drug dealers, illegal human trafficking. You can look at our records, you can look at the number of people arrested, you can look at the number of drugs, cocaine and other things confiscated. Many have tried to use Turkey as a transit to Europe, and we've stopped this.
I know that extraditions
you have a different agenda here.
No,
you have a different agenda.
I have not actually.
No,
but I know that in the NATO discussions...
You are making baseless accusations, saying that Turkey has become a hub for cocaine traffic, mafia leaders. That is PKK speaking, that is FETÖ speaking. That is not honest journalism. We have heard these claims many, many times. Don't think that we will be intimidated by that kind of stuff. This is not honest journalism. You're making baseless accusations, taking them as facts, on the basis of which you're asking me questions, and you want me to answer them. These are ridiculous questions. Anyway, I don't want to continue this. Can you stop this?
Mr. Kalin, let's just look briefly in the time we have left at the purges, the people who were after the coup attempt in 2016.
I think I already answered that.
The people who were fired from their jobs. Many thousands of them had to be cleared later on because the charges against them were nonsense, weren't they? Thousands of people who were falsely implicated in the coup attempt had to be reinstalled because the allegations against them were false. Not that they had the chance to defend themselves before they were fired. This is life under your AKP, isn't it?
All right.
You get purged, you have no chance to defend yourself.
Are we on the eastern side or the western side of Berlin right now?
Does it matter?
What? On the eastern side. You know how many people were fired from their jobs when the unification happened?
We're not talking about Germany.
No.
We're talking about...
Look, you have to see this in context.
I know you don't want to talk about this.
You have to see this in context.
Embarrassing.
You know,
no,
when it comes to your own issues, you want to provide a context. When it comes to Turkey, you deny me the right to state the context. I'm asking the audience here, how many people were fired from their jobs when the unification happened in 1989? I'll give you the number. 500,000 people.
So
These are civil workers, these are soldiers, these are journalists, these are diplomats.
You can play the what about game, and it's very fashionable.
No, I'm providing
politicians
a context
these days. What about Mars?
This.
What about Venus?
I'm
what
providing
about Russia?
a context
what about China?
for what happened in Turkey.
You're trying to
evade
about the purge. Answering the question.
It's a very simple
The fact is that tens of thousands of people were fired and humiliated, and their reputations were drawn through the mud before finally they were able to clear their names.
Because there is a judicial path for this.
Yeah, but look what happened in the meantime.
They have applied. Those who were cleared, in fact, are free either to go or to apply for their jobs, and that's still a process underway. Of course, I'm not saying that everything is perfect there. There is still room for improvement. There are still things that we need to do to make sure that these people, you know, have their full rights. But you have to see this in context.
Your party has sat back and watched countless people's lives ruined while you threw allegations at them that turned out to be false.
There is a judicial process
for
them to apply
Eventually.
Yeah.
Eventually, maybe.
There was for this 500,000
Who cares about the
people.
collateral damage?
Yeah.
Huh?
There was 500,000 people who were fired from their jobs during the unification because they were suspected of working for SATSI, the Eastern German intelligence. They were suspected.
But we're talking about Turkey.
We are talking about people in Turkey that carried out a military coup. And now we're clearing them. Most of the things that you're referring to, in fact, is a reference to these people.
I'm referring also to what the EU Commission in its latest report called the backsliding on human rights, backsliding in a number of areas affecting human rights. It says your accession negotiations have effectively come to a standstill. It's time to end this, isn't it? Because you have no intention of meeting the conditions for membership that have been set down by the EU, have you?
We were promised to be a full member in the European Union many times.
And then you violated human rights, left, right, and centre.
And we've been waiting since, I don't know, 62, 63 officially. We got an official date in 2004 and 5. It was our president, President Erdogan, actually, who put so much political capital into this. And we were presented with a package of 36 chapters. No candidate member was ever presented with this many chapters. And then what happened? 15 years later, we open only one chapter, close only one chapter. I'm not even talking about
You're saying you're the victim here. You like to play the victim. The victim of what? Bias against Turkey?
I don't see myself as a victim. I'm just stating the facts. Look, there is an enlargement process or fatigue in Europe.
And there are conditions to be met.
They don't want to
And you don't meet
expand.
them, Mr. Kalin.
And there is a negotiation fatigue in Turkey also. How long will it take? Another century for Turkey to be a full member?
That's up to you, isn't it?
One thing
if you
after
abide by the
another.
conditions, it could happen
No,
quickly.
look, most of the things that we are talking
are
about, for example, in Eastern Mediterranean today, is related to the Cyprus issue. You remember what happened in 2004 with the Annan referendum? For the unification of the island, the Turkish side said yes, the Greek side said no. And what happened afterwards? In fact, the EU
what do you put this down to? The anti-Turkish chorus that you talk so much about? Is this part of the anti-Turkish chorus that you often talk about?
I'm talking about
what are you saying here?
A failure of consistency.
Are you saying the EU is biased against Turkey?
In the EU, after the referendum, what they did, instead of actually challenging the Greek side on this issue, they accepted the Greek side as a full member. And that violated another key EU principle. You don't bring in a bilateral territorial dispute into the EU. They did exactly that. And now, for the last 14, 15 years, we've been dealing with this issue. So, but my point is that it's either Cyprus or human rights issues or security or Turkey's. It's one thing after another that is presented as an excuse or an obstacle for Turkey's EU membership.
Okay, so you know what the conditions are, so you either want to meet them or not. Call it a day then. If you're fed up with it, call it a day.
If the EU wants to do it, they're welcome to do it. We are still committed to joining the EU as a full member, nothing short of a full member.